How's it going, everyone? My name's Kyle Viveris. I'm from Your Daily Nerd, and this is your weekly news for the week of February 9th, 2018. We're going to just jump right into it because we've got a lot to cover. First of all, we have to talk about Nintendo finally putting out the details about their new rewards program coming for Switch with the My Nintendo program. According to Nintendo, starting in early March, you'll be able to spend any gold points you've accumulated in My Nintendo when purchasing Nintendo Switch software from the Nintendo eShop on your device or even the Nintendo website. You can pay for the remaining balance with Nintendo eShop funds or any other payment method available in the Nintendo eShop. This seems like a pretty good deal to me. I remember back in the day on the Wii and the 3DS, I would also spend these points so that I could get cheap games. I think I got the original Legend of Zelda on my 3DS back in the day. So from what this sounds like, it sounds like it's going to be just primarily discounts on games, but not games themselves, which is a little bit of a bummer to me. But you know, eventually, I'm sure they will have an option where you'll be able to get some of, at that point, older Switch games on the console itself for free. Next week, in one of my favorite games from 2017, Injustice 2. They'll be having their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle DLC coming out next week. If you're a Season Pass holder, you'll get to be able to play as the Ninja Turtles on the 13th, but if you're not, you'll be able to play as them on the 20th. According to Injustice, you'll be able to choose which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle you want to play as by equipping one of 4 accessories: swords for Leonardo, bow staff for Donatello, nunchucks for Michelangelo, or sais for Raphael. Equipping which one gives you a different character and a completely different moveset. Each will wield their own unique movesets, character powers, and special moves. In online and tournament modes where specific loadouts are unavailable, players will be able to select each individual turtle from the character select screen. They put out a trailer with this, and it looks fantastic. I am so excited to play as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if they'll change me from my main character that I usually play as is Atrocitus, but it'll be fun to go in there and kind of just mess around and see how these characters play from everybody else on the roster. Up next, it's been announced that Fortnite has finally beaten PUBG when it comes to concurrent players. This comes from a blog post on Fortnite's blog saying that they hit 3.4 million concurrent players last Sunday. And because of this, they had some outages, some server lag, and they had a lot of different issues to go with that. This puts Fortnite at about 200,000 players above PUBG. This isn't really surprising to me because of the fact that Fortnite Battle Royale is a free-to-play game and PUBG costs $30. But it's interesting to see that this change has happened. Also, something that puts Fortnite at a little bit of an advantage is the fact that Fortnite is on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, whereas PUBG is only on PC and Xbox. Next, in a little bit of Overwatch news, Overwatch's new Lunar New Year event is now live. It's going to be running through March 5th. They've kind of changed it up from last year. Last year was the year of the rooster. Obviously, this year is now the year of the dog. So they've changed up to kind of fit the theme a little bit more. There's a new competitive mode for the same mode that they added last year, the Capture the Flag mode. They added a new map for it, as well as 50 new seasonal items, including legendary skins that are based off of Chinese mythology and constellations. These skins look fantastic. I've been out of the Overwatch scene a little bit recently because my desktop is kind of on the fritz, but I'll be fixing it here in this next week, and I'll definitely be checking that out and playing it. I miss playing Overwatch so much. Next, in a little bit of some unusual news, a creator of a screenshot mod for The Division has been banned for life. The program itself is called Cinematic Tools, and it was a program developed by a Finnish physics student named Matti Hietinen. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. The program's purpose was to help players take control of in-game cameras, so that way they can take some really cool pictures or movies or time-lapse. He's done this for several games now. reading here 22 games, including Battlefield 1, Dark Souls 3, and Star Wars Battlefront 2. When the program is running, players can make hotkeys to do things like a free camera mode, time stop, a heads-up display removal, as well as playing around with depth of field. Basically, what this means is that you can unhook the camera from the player and move it to wherever you want and get some interesting shots through like photo mode. We have detected recurring actions on your account which are in direct breach of our code of conduct. Please be aware that we have taken the necessary steps to preserve the play experience for others, and this has resulted in you receiving a permanent ban. You will therefore be unable to play Tom Clancy's The Division. Now, what this is in reference to, of course, is the fact that he breached the code of conduct because to get this cinematic tools to work on the game, he created the program using Cheat Engine. We've talked about Cheat Engine here on the channel before. It's a program that basically reads into the coding of a game for you to be able to do different things. Most of the time in like shooter games, it's to detect where enemies are on the map, or to be able to shoot through different surfaces, or to automatically like lock on to an enemy. The creator of this mod has been using Cheat Engine to dig into the game's camera controls and to control the time of day and different weather effects. Now, he expected automatic bans, but he thinks that there should be at least an appeal process to look at it. He said, quote, "I don't think it would be too hard in staying completely silent to ban content creators, no matter how hard they try. Making contact really sucks." And I agree. I've seen some of the pictures that he has produced through this mod, and other people have produced through this mod, and they're actually pretty damn good looking. I think that he should be able to appeal this and just say, hey, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not cheating or anything. I'm just using this program to look into the code so that way I can do something that's really neat and add something to it. Plus, The Division is a game that's 2 years old at this point. Are people really playing too terribly much of this? I know they added a big update to it recently within the past few months or so, but not a lot of people I know who were big fans of The Division are still playing it. So maybe it'd be good for something like this to kind of breathe new life into the game. Next, in some really bizarre and kind of fucked up news, a Fortnite Pro and partnered Twitch streamer got fired after saying he would dare suicidal people to do it. So the topic came up after another Twitch streamer said that she had been having suicidal thoughts, and this streamer, his name is Jordan Selleck, but he goes by Scubby, said on stream that if anyone he knew threatened suicide, quote, "I would dare them to do it, and then I would never talk to them again." He belonged to a eSports team known as Havoc eSports, and after seeing these things that he had to say, Havoc eSports has decided to part ways with him. Obviously, we see a pattern here with pro eSports players not really thinking about what their actions really entail before they do or say anything these days. In the past 2 weeks, we had XQC with Dallas Fuel and what he said. You had Prophet last week with the London Spitfire and him flipping off the camera. It's really kind of eye-opening to see that these pro players are really not thinking about what they're doing before they do it. They have to remember that the responsibility is not just what they do when they're out there playing in a professional environment, especially when they oftentimes do these streams as a secondary thing while they're playing. They have to remember that the camera is always on them and that they need to be responsible and be a good role model for the people watching them, especially if they're younger people who are like 13 or 14 who are still kind of in like the early ages where their minds are molding. You should be a good, responsible person and help them to move forward. The gaming community really can't afford to have so many people that are in the spotlight be shitheads. And maybe I'm overreacting to this, but I think it's time that we continue to hold these people to a higher standard. It's just not cool. Like, I mean, I know this is this is eSports, this is Fortnite and Overwatch, but 13-year-olds play and watch Fortnite and Overwatch. I believe both of those games are rated T. They can purchase and play those games anytime. So who's to say that they're not watching these players play on Twitch? It's as easy as ever to be able to see what they talk about and how they say things. So I think it's good on Havoc Esports to have parted ways with Scubby on this. I just think that every esports player needs to be a little bit more mindful of what they say and what they do from here on out. And finally, in a little bit more lighthearted esports news, we're back to the Overwatch League, but this time with some good news. It's been reported that we might see our very first female player in the Overwatch League, a South Korean Overwatch off-tank by the name of Geguri. I apologize again if I mispronounced that. She formerly played for ROX Orcas, but it looks like she might have been recruited to join the Shanghai Dragons in the Overwatch League and become the first female player to join the league. Not only will she be the first player to join the Overwatch League, but she'll also be one of the few female players who is playing at a high caliber level in a competitive field as a woman. And I think it's fantastic that we're finally seeing this in game. Now, they haven't done an official announcement of this signing yet, but it's expected to be announced here in the next couple of weeks or so. And that's it for this week's weekly news. A little bit of housekeeping before we go, though. Still doing the fundraising for AbleGamers. So far, we've raised $111, and I'm so happy about all the progress that we've made with that so far, but I know that we can do more. So please, if you have any kind of inkling of being able to donate to this cause, please do. I'm going to put a link down here in the description. They're a wonderful, wonderful organization, and I really hope that you can help me to help fundraise for them. Also, be on the lookout. Episode 1 of the YDN cast will be coming out on Monday. I'm super, super excited for that. We'll be recording it tomorrow. It'll be coming out on YouTube, and we'll probably stay on just YouTube for a while, just a talking head version of the show, and then we'll be moving on to other podcasting platforms like SoundCloud and iTunes and Google Play sometime after that, once we can figure out what our hosting situation is like. And finally, our last thing of housekeeping, don't forget to be playing Night in the Woods. Our required gaming video will be coming up soon. It was going to come out on Monday, but because of things like we're in Louisiana here, so we have a Mardi Gras break coming up on Monday and Tuesday. It won't be coming out until the following Monday, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a great, great conversation. Please keep your eye out for that. And on that note, that's it for this week's weekly news. I'm Kyle Viveras with your Daily Nerd. You have a great day.